What's going on, everybody, and welcome to my State of Affairs video for October 2023. Let's just kind of jump right into things because September was a pretty big month for me, and I'm very surprised that that was the case. I think September was one of my worst months last year, so for September to be one of my biggest months this year so far, it was kind of amazing. So, of course, we will start off with last month's videos between my two channels that I posted. First of all, I did do 11 videos on the main channel, which is not too shabby. It's pretty much the average at this point for every month, between 10, 15 videos, usually 11, 12, or 13. So 11 videos is a pretty normal amount. I got 478 views between those 11 videos. In terms of the highlights, the videos that I'm most proud of, or the videos that I think you should check out if you have not gotten to already, there's a few of them actually this time around. First of all, I did a review of Tales of the Sun Eater Volume 3 by Christopher Ruocchio. I was able to copy edit that for Mr. Ruocchio. I did that job for him, and therefore was able to review it a few days even before the collection released, but it seems everybody else who has been reading it has had a great time with it. If you want to know my thoughts, it is in that video, spoiler free of course, just as pretty much always. Speaking of Christopher Ruocchio and Sun Eater, I also got to do a discussion. I gotta have a collab with Mr. Ruocchio as well. I did a video of that. It was a two and a half hour video, somewhere in that ballpark. It was pretty lengthy, but you know, we kind of hit it off. We had a great time discussing some stuff, him talking about, you know, Disquiet Gods, the upcoming book in the series. We were talking about Tales because it hadn't come out yet at that point. In fact, the cover reveal hadn't even happened by the time we recorded it. But, you know, there's a bunch of other stuff we talked about as well, including stuff, you know, relating to Tolkien and Lord of the Rings, all of that fun stuff. So if you want to check out that, you can. And then, of course, I did all of my Wheel of Time diaries on the Dragon Reborn, third book in the Wheel of Time. But I did also do a diary for that after I'd finished that book, discussing the first 3 books in the series in total, in a spoiler-free format. So if you want to know my general thoughts on the first 3 books so far, all in one space, without getting into spoilers, that is where that can be found. And I also did a review that I was rather happy with about Another Kingdom, the full trilogy by Andrew Clavin. Series that it was some of my first books that I've done on audio, like truly done on audio, and I did those a year ago actually, and I finally got around to reviewing them, and reviewing it actually made me want to go back and re-listen to them. So if that's any, you know, indicator of how I felt about those books, I recommend you check out that video so that you can get a little bit more in depth. On the second channel, I released 7 videos, 18 views between them, so not quite as big as August was on the second channel, but that's fine. August was kind of an outlier. In terms of the highlights, there are 2 videos that I want to point out as having done last month in September that I was really happy with and that would recommend you go check out. Those being my album reviews for Fatalism by Polaris and Blackout by From Ashes to New. I spent way too much time working on these blogs for the second channel over the last month and a half, and as a result haven't been able to do a whole lot of writing on The Reign of Ash over the last month. That being said, I might as well talk about last month's writing because I already just hinted at it. I did get upwards of 1,300 words added to the Reign of Ash outline. You know, the first trilogy, the Silent Reign trilogy within the whole sequence. I did do all of that last month. I'm still working on the revisions, but overall I didn't actually get to do that much at all. So I did get a little bit of words written, but I'm only through part 1 of the first book. So like I still have nearly all 3 of those books to go through the revisions for. As I go through the process of learning how I'm going to go through those revisions and all of that whatnot, who knows how smoothly that's going to go? Who knows how long it's going to take? I'm starting to think these outlines might take me a lot longer than I was originally thinking. Not just because of writing them, but because of wanting to revise them, you know, as series as I finish them before moving on to the next part, so that I can make sure that things line up with timeline and character continuity and all that stuff. When you have a 19-book sequence and all that stuff becomes very important, yeah, that's kind of how things go. Let's go ahead and talk about channel statistics. Let me pull up my folders over here. On the main channel, I got 871 views in September, up 21.1% from the already rather large August performance with, like 700 and something views, I forget exactly, but 871 was quite large. It is my second biggest month on the channel in total, coming within just what, like 350 or something of my previous biggest month, which I think was June. If I'm remembering correctly, I'm pretty sure it was June. Then I got 100.3 watch hours in September, up 73.5% from what I think it was like 58 or so watch hours last month. That's a pretty big jump. I'm actually very surprised by that and very grateful for that. Again, my second biggest month. Didn't quite reach the 120 watch hours of June, but it got way close, like very much surprisingly close. In fact, I think that means that I had a higher average watch time per view than I did in June. If not, they're pretty similar, all things considered. For my impressions, I got 38,569 impressions, up 5.5% from last month. So not a huge jump in these, but I'm been consistently getting more views with relatively similar amount of impressions. So that's actually a better thing, higher impressions click-through rate. That's always nicer to have because it'll mean YouTube's more likely to improve, the impressions that you're getting. This was up over the last couple months. I don't even remember what this is in comparison to several of the past few months. It's one of the bigger ones, obviously, but the last 6 months have all been big. I'm actually just going to go ahead and double check because I can. Yeah, I had a pretty big month. It came within 1,000 impressions of being my second most impressions in a month. So at this point, September was number 3 in total for how many impressions I got in a month. So I've been staying rather consistent. Starting in April, getting 31,000 impressions. I've been getting between 31 and 43 every month since then. That's pretty nice. It means that my channel's gotten over 250,000 impressions in 2023, which is a lot of times for my videos to be advertised to random people on the internet. Actually kind of mind-blowing to think about. Next up, I had a huge month for subscribers where, normally I get a handful of subscribers in terms of the net gain. I had a net gain of 24 subscribers in September, leaving my total at 519. If you'll remember, if you watched the last State of Affairs, I got very close to reaching 500. I was at 495, somewhere in that 495, 496 range for the last 2 weeks of August. And I was like, maybe over this month, if I'm lucky, I'll reach 500 and maybe I'll be able to keep it. And then I just kept getting a lot of subscribers. Lost a handful, but got a big amount as well. So I'm very grateful for that. I finally hit my goal of 500 subscribers. That was my goal for the entire year, and that was like my pipe dream goal for the entire year. Like, maybe I'll reach 500 by the end of 2023. And with this, easily the biggest amount of subscribers that I've gotten in a single month since I've started doing this booktube thing. Before that, the record was like 11 or something. So that's huge. Even if I don't get, numbers like this over the last 3 months of the year, should still be able to keep that 500 plus goal like I originally had. Here's hoping, here's as like a random goal, like maybe I'll reach 550. Probably not, but that would be pretty neat as well. On the second channel, things weren't quite as big as August. Like I said before, only got 28 total views, down 50% from the month before. 8.6 watch hours, which was down 11.3%. So I actually had a little bit longer average view duration, still perfectly suitable. In fact, I'm just generally happy with how the second channel is doing. It's not doing like amazingly, but like it's not like, only 1 view every video and maybe 1 minute of watch time every video. I'm still getting some watch time over there, and that's pretty neat. 421 impressions on the second channel, down 81%. I had a really strange spike in impressions in August, which is probably why it came down so hard this month, because those impressions didn't get met with too many more clicks last month. But 421 is still not too shabby. And then the subscriber count did not change at all, which is perfectly fine. Let me go and turn that off. There we go. As for this month on the channel and kind of in my personal life, I'm going to be continuing my crazy reading schedule, which if you have not checked it out yet, last Tuesday, my September reading wrap-up and October TBR video came out. Some crazy ambitious plans for that, mostly in terms of book count rather than, say, word or page count. That's actually the book that at the point of recording, I'm finishing that up after I'm done recording this and when this video is editing. Or rendering, sorry. So that kind of gives you a hint of what I'm planning for spooky season. So if you want to check out that, you can. I got caught up on a lot of videos actually as well for the month. I believe not counting the 2 remaining bi-weekly update videos that will come out in October, all but 2 of the October videos are going to be 100% done by the end of today. I have this video and then another review that I just recorded today as well that I got to get edited and rendered. After those are rendered and uploaded and I get like 7 thumbnails made, so by the end of today basically, everything for October except for 2 time sensitive videos that I can't do until a day or 2 before they're needing to go up later in the month are done. Like, I'm just pretty much done with October, so I can spend some of that time actually doing my reading without having to worry about getting videos done. Although I should get videos planned at least for November, that is for sure. But yeah, that's always pretty cool. Who knows how the rest of this year is going to go, but I'm pretty excited for it. So if you're excited for this last quarter of the year, if you're excited for spooky season, if you're excited for, anything coming up on the channel, I would appreciate the subscription and anybody to follow along if they are interested. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back in the next video.